right there to try to get that green, but yeah, we're gonna check that. Yeah, and I made it home fine.